Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke. And today I'll be giving the message. It's Saturday, the 7th of June 2025, or the 12th of May in the 13th year of Chongalguk. So thank you all for coming. And let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chanji, Champunim, Ge, Kyombe. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
하전맨세 5. 천일극주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 전산세계와 대산적 지산세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 5. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Thank you. As I'm going to do the presentation, I'd like to ask Nar if she could read this opening prayer.
Okay, let's pray. Please let us straighten out and go the way of heaven by offering ourselves completely. Beloved Father, I know well that there is no way but for this Son to offer my life to you with tears, while reflecting once more on the historical ages in which no one knew how to comfort you. During the tedious history of restoration, which you alone knew about as you waited for the age, no one has known about all the missions of the ages that you are administering while time flows by. I thank you that you have protected me on the way as I have gone straight towards the day of being able to straighten out and go the way of heaven, which is the duty of your public good, by offering myself and attending you, and by resolving your grief over having been miserable, angry, and mistreated. Feb 1985.
Yes, this is the other half of it.
I thank you for having allowed me to reach an age in which the destiny of the world can be dedicated directly, when I can discuss the world while standing in a position at the summit of the world after historical ages in which I was driven out and could not help but retreat, and which continued until today. Since I am going forward like a strong man who is bold and magnanimous, and who does not feel shame in front of you, Father, who are protecting the way where I must overcome a crisis, I ask, Father, that you will protect that way and be proud of me. I have humbly prayed all these things in the name of the true parents. Amen.
Thank you. And I'll just share the other screen. There we go. And so today I'd like to share some mother's words that she gave last year, actually. A peaceful future with true parents. Yeah, that's our goal. And that's the future that is awaiting everyone. So we'll begin. So have you studied the epic history of the chosen Korean people well? Do you remember what I said about providential history? I have told said that those of you who are with me now are living in a golden age. I have said that you who are with me now are living in a golden age. After 6,000 years of history, providential history, the environment was created for the dream of our Creator, Heavenly Parent, to be realized on earth through true parents. Through whom? It was Wang Oma. The Creator, Heavenly Parent's dream is that together with the true parents on earth, they will embrace all of humanity as their children. Currently, there are too many people and nations that do not know true parents. Many wars are being waged throughout the world, including the war between Russia and the Ukraine in Asia, the war Israel is fighting in the Middle East, and others stemming from conflicts between nations. However, all people desire to see a peaceful world. There is only one way. The only way for humanity to become one and for world peace to come is to conduct a movement to bring people back to Heavenly Parent through the path of attending true parents. Your role here is important. You must tell them that the path to becoming one with true parents, with the only begotten daughter, true mother, is the way to a peaceful future. Will you do that? I trust that you will. So that message is a message that Mother gave last year during a meeting with actually Japanese leaders that came to Korea to attend Mother, and Mother was telling them how everyone is needed, and the only way to bring about peace is really to unite and attend with true parents and with true Mother, and ask them to go and make sure that everyone knows about it. And that's the same for all of us. That's the goal. All the 8 billion people on the world today really need to understand the truth about our Heavenly Parent and our true parents and our responsibility, which is to really guide people to understand this truth. And so this message, as you can see, True Mother gave on the 23rd of April, 2016. You must understand your responsibility is your portion. No one else will do it. So every one of us needs to, carry out our responsibility the best that we can. The position of Mother is extremely important because for the first time in 6,000 years, Heavenly Parent could stand in that substantial position. Heavenly Parent's dreams and hopes were substantially realized. True parents exist to realize the dream of Heavenly Parent. And that's the whole purpose of God at the very beginning of creation was to be able to walk physically on earth in the body of Adam and Eve and become the true parents and then create his lineage substantially on the earth. But that didn't happen. And so true parents' desire is to fulfill God's dreams and hopes. And that we know was realized in 1960 with the marriage of the Lamb taking place. And so true parents exist to realize the dream of Heavenly Parent, and actually they succeeded. Each day I think of the ideal of Heavenly Parent, beginning with the flowers and the grass revealing the heart of Heavenly Parent as He created the creation from the smallest to the highest with a heart of happiness and love. Adam and Eve were created to be the first ancestors of humankind. They had the responsibility to mature. And see, that responsibility is the same responsibility for every person who's born on earth, because every person born on earth is actually the child of our heavenly parent. You know, we're all the children of heaven, and we're all here because God wants us to be here. You know, no birth is an accident. It may look like, strange circumstances, but every child born really is desired by our heavenly parent. And we're here to create our fulfillment in that responsibility, which is still really simple, and that is to become mature and connect with our heavenly parent. You know, as it says at the bottom there, Adam and Eve were created to be the first ancestors of humankind. They had the responsibility to mature. Compared with the father, the mother feels more emotions, has greater sentiment. Isn't that what they say about mothers? Mother is standing in that position. The responsibility is very heavy. And I'm sure many women here who are mothers or even about to be mothers, maybe recognize that fact that mother feels more emotions, and I don't know, every man here or father may think, oh, I don't know, we can feel things, but our mother is saying that that this is a truth. Mothers do feel more. Mother is standing in that position. The responsibility is very heavy. However, while I am on this earth, I want to realize the wish of Heavenly Parent. That heart gets greater by the day. From my heart, I am creating a new environment to fulfill that dream. The reality is not able to support our providence. I'm very sad. The reality is not able to support our providence. I'm very sad, because her desire really is to carry out our Heavenly Parent's dream, and that truly is, the Chongalguk on earth. So what does it mean? If you are blessed central families, you must become filial sons and daughters, patriots. Your responsibility does not end with the blessing. And we know this, we know that since our blessing, we have the responsibility, to expand the blessing by helping others understand the heart of heaven, understand God's dream, understand the reality of true parents, and that the marriage of the Lamb that took place in 1960 is the turning point in history, because that's when the lineage of God came to the earth and has been expanding ever since. And we are the extension of that expansion because we had received the blessing. And our responsibility doesn't end with the blessing. We were given the grace of heaven by being chosen, by being able to live in the time of our true parents physically on the earth. And now we are all in the golden age of our true mother, who's really, creating that environment. So as Mother said, from my heart, I am creating a new environment to fulfill that dream. And so that really is recognizing the source. Mother is expressing, that her heart is, aligned with heaven. Mothers feel more emotions. So Mother representing the heavenly heart, the heart of Heavenly Mother, is creating a new environment to fulfill that dream. And we are seeing that spiritually and physically. We're seeing it spiritually through the Chongsim One prayer vigil that we did last night and this morning, and and really creating the substantial physical environment with the opening of the gates of heaven and the Chongyol Sanctum and the Chongwon Gung and all of this, is there in front of us. And so our responsibility, if you are blessed central families, you must become filial sons and daughters patriots. And of course we are. So we need to become that. And that's also the responsibility that we need to fulfill. If you do not fulfill your responsibility, you will not be good ancestors and will not be remembered in history. It took 6,000 years for the only begotten son and daughter to appear. True parents open the path. While mother is alive on this earth, we must perfect this earth. You must fulfill your responsibility. The world has many problems, and the solution to all of them is nothing other than true parents. The advent of true parents was to have taken place at the national level. For 2,000 years, Christianity was prepared for true parents. And so your mother is really expressing her heart very clearly here, and also in a way trying to encourage us, but at the same time a little bit of a warning or consequence. If you do not fulfill your responsibility, you will not be good ancestors and will not be remembered in history. And of course, we want to be good ancestors and we want to be remembered. And we know that this is the time. And the time is always passing, but the time is here now, and we shouldn't waste our time. And we know that the most important aspect of our responsibility currently now is to witness and to tell people. That's the whole point. Witnessing means to tell people about our heavenly parent, about our true parents, and introduce the blessing that helps people connect to God's lineage and forever leave the satanic world behind. And it took 6,000 years for the only begotten son and daughter to appear. And true parents did open the path. The gates of heaven are wide open, and it's up to us to help people see that. So we must perfect this earth while mother is alive. You must fulfill your responsibility. And the older we get, our personal time on earth, we don't know how long it's going to be. Do we live into our 90s, or do we live longer? I heard recently that mother was saying that she could live 120 or 180, something that you may remember that former President Song once said he had this inspiration, or that mother could live like that, and mother saying people can live a long time. I remember father saying that he could also live to 120. And yet we know that physically it was like 92 or 93. We don't really know how time mother will remain with us on earth, but I'm sure that she wants to leave the environment intact, the environment prepared in such a way, and that mother has lived many, many years, 10 years or more, 20 years or more in Chongguk, in the kingdom of heaven on earth, and created it so that we really know what heaven truly looks like. Heaven that has no fall, heaven that is only good, heaven where people only live for the sake of others and only are satisfied when they give 100%, where we give 100, 120%. So of course, all of us will live 120 years, 180 years, who knows? The world is changing rapidly. So while Mother is alive on this earth, we must perfect this earth. You must fulfill your responsibility. The world has many problems, and the solution to all of them is nothing other than true parents. And already we saw Mother share the wars that are happening, and it's only can be resolved completely through true parents. Otherwise wars will stop and start because the solution is not reached. But the solution can be reached when people start to attend the true parents. So the advent of true parents was to have taken place at the national level. For 2,000 years, Christianity was prepared for true parents. So just like Jesus came on on the family and national level, after all of the effort that our Heavenly Parent took to raise up the chosen people of Israel to receive him, and he successfully was born, but unfortunately the foundation for the birth of the only begotten daughter didn't happen. And so Jesus went the way of the cross, trying everything possible, and then saying he'll come and carry out the marriage of the Lamb at that time. And that's what Christianity was supposed to do, not just wait for the return of Christ, but to prepare the environment for Christ when he comes, that he comes to a world that is good, to a world that can attend and support and Christianity to prepare the environment so the birth of the only begotten daughter can take place. So Christianity was given that central role, to not only welcome the return of Christ, but to prepare and welcome the only begotten daughter. It should have happened when Jesus came. The only begotten son and daughter should have been born at that time, and they should have created true parents. But that didn't happen, and we know that that's the path that Christianity still needs to fulfill, and that is to attend true parents. But there was no way they provided assistance, so true parents had to start from the lowest position. True parents established this foundation, working to this day. True Mother is still alive. You must be grateful. You must say thank you, thank you. Adam and Eve fell because they had personal desires. Everything that is self-centered is forbidden. All must be attending true parents. One mind, one heart, one body, centering on true parents. The wish of true parents must be your wish. Once you realize the kingdom of heaven on earth, it will be the kingdom of heaven in spirit world. So this is what Mother is telling us, and we know very well who our true Mother is. We know very well that God is our parent, and he is a parent of heart, and that heart created everything around us, including us. And so not only is God the creator, but God is the parent. And once we fully realize that, I mean, every person, all 8 billion people on earth, then truly the kingdom of heaven on earth will be the kingdom of heaven in the spirit world. And it has to be that way because we start here first. Our life starts in this physical dimension. As we know, we're in the womb for so many months, and that time is the the emergence of our existence, apparently out of nothing. But we know it's the union of the sperm and the ova that creates the being. Half coming from our mother and half coming from our father, but yet the mother carries the child as it grows and develops and becomes an entity, becomes a child. And so that origin, beginning within mother, is something that says that true parents establish this foundation, working to this day. True mother is still alive. You must be grateful. You must say thank you, and not get distracted. Adam and Eve fell because they had personal desires, and that's something that is always there. The other day we read that capitalism was a key factor in the decline of Christianity in many places, because we started to focus on personal desires. We know that the Puritans, they went to America with a desire for heaven, and what did they do? They built the church and then the school and then for themselves. They kept that correct order. So the personal desires weren't dominating. They were still there and looked after, but after everything else was done. So everything that is self-centered is forbidden, because we don't really own anything. Actually, the original owner is our Heavenly Parent, and our very existence belongs to a Heavenly Parent. We make the mistake of thinking we own things, and if we focus on what we have, then we lose what has been given. And so we all must be attending true parents. We need to reach that situation where we are of one mind, one heart, one body, centering on true parents. Because just as our own physical body has cells, and there's billions and trillions of cells in our body, and each cell, if you look at it individually, looks autonomous, looks complete. It looks like it doesn't need anything. It doesn't really, it can survive on its own in a way, but there's a whole system that supports it. Each cell is interconnected. Each cell has all its needs looked after, and every cell works together as one. And then we are a being that is in harmony, because all the cells work together. So we can see when we look at our cells, the cell is of one mind, one heart, one body, centering on the individual. But when we come to realize that each individual is only half a cell, because the cell is a complete unit, and when husband and wife come together, it becomes a unit that represents heaven, like a cell. And when all these families join together and we move as one, then we truly are realizing God's will. And so we need to have that same one mind, which is the same mind that our Heavenly Parent has. And we need to have that same one heart, so that we can really be the same as God, and then one body, centering on true parents. So this really is our responsibility as well, to be one. And that one mind means my mind is the same as heaven, my mind is the same as my spouse, and my mind is the same as everyone here. And we are coming closer to that, as the more that we read Hundok and study our true parents' words and also the emergence of the clarity of the truth. Never before did we think about Heavenly Mother. Truly, it's because of our true mother that our Heavenly Mother has a voice. Just like when Jesus came, our Heavenly Father had a voice through Jesus, and Jesus could share our Heavenly Father's heart and rightfully proclaim, when you see me, you see the Father. And rightfully, Mother can say, when you see her, you see the Mother. And so now we're living in this time where we can see the expression of our Heavenly Mother that should have been expressed at the very beginning, just like Adam and Eve were together and growing up together. Sure, Adam was there first, but then God, that said he shouldn't be alone, and the Bible describes it that way: shouldn't be alone, and here I'll make him a helper. But actually, there's no way existence could have happened without Adam and Eve being there. It's not like an afterthought, oh, here's a man and I'll give a woman. No, God's creation from the very beginning was to have male and female, because that's the essence, as we know, of our Heavenly Parent. The essence of our Heavenly Parent is He is the harmonized union of all that's masculine and all that's feminine. And so the expression becomes male and female. And so we know that Adam and Eve are there, but Adam was always meant to have Eve. They were always meant. So sometimes when I read that passage, in the Bible, it comes across, or the impression comes across, oh, there's Adam, and God feels sorry for Adam, so give him a partner. But no, it's not an afterthought; it's the original thought. And not only that, the mother has the greater role. The mother carries the child of the next generation. And together they really need to do. All must be attending true parents. One mind, one heart, one body, centering on true parents. And that's our goal. That's our desire. And that's our reason we were created for. We're created to be one with God. And when we are one with God, then we can feel that fulfillment. And so the wish of true parents must be your wish. Once you realize the kingdom of heaven on earth, it will be the kingdom of heaven in spirit world. And that's what we know, as it is on earth, it will be in heaven. And that's also a responsibility. The mind and body that you develop here will be what you have in spirit world. If you don't create the appropriate environment, it will not exist in heaven. It is your responsibility. There are no shortcuts. Yesterday, I gave you the holy elements, which will enable there to be no blemish from Satan on you. You must understand your responsibility is our portion. No one else will do it. The same applies to the second and third generations. As citizens of Chongokuk, how will you live? Realize it as soon as possible while I am alive on this earth, before Heavenly Parent, before all of humanity. So really, Mother is highlighting, what we should do and do now. So the mind and body that you develop here will be what you have in the spirit world. And that's it. When we go to the spirit world, our growth stops. So where we're at, that's where we're at when we're there. And so to continue growth, really it's so difficult, because we have to work with our descendants. And as you know for yourself, we all think our own thinking. And so they will as well. And we can change ourselves because we're here. And it's up to us to apply the knowledge that we've been given and to put it into practice. And really the simplest of all is to live for the sake of others. And if we really do that, then we can take a world of love that we create here to the world of love in the spiritual dimension. So if you don't create the appropriate environment, it will not exist in heaven. So if we want to live happy, joyful lives in heaven, well, we need to check, are we living a happy, joyful life right now? And we all know our own circumstance. And we also need to know how much are we in oneness with our spouse, because that is part of the responsibility. It is your responsibility. There are no shortcuts. We can't get away from the fact that we go through those three dimensions, which is in the womb and in this physical life where we're growing even more. And then we'll enter the spiritual dimension. And our goal of heaven is for us to be at one with heaven, so that heaven and earth, there are no differences. It's all connected. So I'm just trying to remember. It says, yesterday I gave you the holy elements. So this was last year. Or 2023 or 2024. No, I mean this is that was the previous thing. This is April 2016, so it's talking about 2015 or the 2016. I mean, so in the holy elements. I don't know. Maybe someone remembers 2016. Yesterday, so that would have been the 22nd of April 2016. I gave you the holy elements, which will enable there to be no blemish from Satan on you. So this, you must understand your responsibility is our portion. You must understand your responsibility is our portion. No one else will do it. So the holy elements, the relationship and things that are given. And then goes on to talk about the second and third generations. As citizens of Chongalguk, how will you live? So that's something we need to really do, because we are citizens of Chongalguk and the gates to heaven are open. And how will you live? Realize it as soon as possible while I am alive on this earth, before Heavenly Parent, before all of humanity. So we need to realize it, realizing it in two ways, physically make it happen, and also to fully understand what it means, the implications, what is actually needs to be done. So how will you live? We've got to live as beings that live for the sake of others. We've got to become one with others. So we can't just sit down and think of our own small environment, even though that is the easiest and most comfortable to do. But to think about, well, the people around us, people we know, the people we don't know. We need to serve and attend our heavenly parents, to have that heart of gratitude and humility, and to really share, about the essence of our heavenly parent and his dream to build God's kingdom. So during the lifetime of true parents, 7.3 billion people or 8 billion people now must be saved and restored. Accomplish this grand achievement. I am going to fulfill this. All of you, you must not run far behind me. How long are you going to live? Something accomplished while I am alive is very different from after I go to spirit world. I hope you live each day with that earnest heart. I want to remember each one of you. For that, you must fulfill your mission. This is the love of true parents. Live a life of gratitude. Let go of desires, and the flower of happiness will blossom. So Mother's giving us some keys here of what to do and the attitude to have, that, everyone has to be saved and restored. There's no exception. Everyone that's born needs to be saved and restored because everyone born has to grow, and everyone born is wanted and chosen by God. So every one of us and needs that guidance. Adam and Eve didn't get the guidance that they should have received. Adam and Eve had only spirit world guiding them, and Lucifer, given that role. But actually, Adam and Eve were meant to be the true parents, and so they would have taken up the role to guide their children, to perfection as they grew up, because they would have been the models. But because they got caught up, as we know, with their own personal desires, and they were seduced by Satan because he was out of control, just wanting to take love, and we got this situation today. True parents are here, and everyone must be saved. And this is what we need to do. And Mother is saying, I am going to fulfill this. All of you, you must not run far behind me, meaning that as Mother is going forward, we should be going forward as well. And how long are you going to live? We don't know. As long as possible. But Mother is highlighting, something accomplished while I am alive is very different from after I go to the spirit world. And so Mother is really, explaining that true parents won't come again. And while we're here with true parents, we are in this amazing special grace period, this golden age, this age in which the transformation of everything is happening. So I hope, Mother is saying, I hope you live each day with that earnest heart. We need to have that same heart that Mother has, which is to raise up the children to take up their responsibility for the next generation and the next generation, because each parent is responsible for the next generation and needs to learn how to reach maturity through the model of their parents. So Mother's saying, I want to remember each one of you. For that, you must fulfill your mission. This is the love of true parents. Live a life of gratitude. Let go of desires and the flower of happiness will blossom. So we need to let go of desires, because it was, excessive desire, and we got many different desires, greed and lust, and the seven deadly sins are like those different desires that we have, and we need to let go of all of them. If that we need to be grateful, that we are living here, and we have been given birth, and that birth doesn't have an end. We live for eternity. And so we need to appreciate what we have, because we know, this growth period, we are meant to complete it. And so if we go to the spirit world, where we go according to where we are. And so let's succeed in fulfilling our responsibility so that we can go to a world of love, where our ability to love has fully blossomed. So let go of desires and the flower of happiness will blossom. So this is the last bit. Yesterday was cold, but since you were very moved, the days coming are filled with hope. There is only hope for us. Do you understand? Let's stop talking and bring Apple Heaven. Apple Heaven is the singing group of Champyung staff members. So Mother is saying, yesterday was cold, but since you were very moved, the days coming are filled with hope. There is only hope for us. Do you understand? And so actually, even though this is 2016 and April, and I started to think that we were in Korea in April time for the opening of the Chongyol Sanctum, and yeah, this sort of makes me think yesterday being, when we were in Korea, it was very cold. But since you were very moved, the days coming are filled with hope. So yes, yeah, we were sitting there at the Chongal Sanctum, and it was very cold for us that were there, but we were moved, and the days coming are filled with hope, and we had so much blessing and grace at that time. And Mother is saying here, there is only hope for us. Do you understand? Because God is hoping that we fulfill our responsibility, and God is hoping, and Mother is hoping that we fulfill our responsibility as well, and that we connect together as all generations, because every generation is the generation of heaven. And so that's the end of this message. So thank you. I'll just stop sharing that and open it up to others, who'd like to share. So thank you. Yes. So that's my little message for this morning. I know people are probably still tired from doing the Chongsim One prayer. Oh yes. Yes, Chris, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, morning, everyone. I'll just fill the gaps. Look at just two things quickly. One, in our discussion before about Jesus having the only begotten daughter being born late and Jesus possibly being very old. And I thought, well, even though Father had children before, he really didn't start the true family until he was 40 either. So it's not a problem at all, is it, really? And I realised that my concepts all through Christian life of this being a Jesus and if there was a wife the same age was holding me back, really restricting my thinking. And it was the same for actually when True Mother was born, wasn't it? The people there in real life were expecting someone of his age to be born. Anyway, a bit of an awakening there. But this morning I just had a stronger realization that because of things that have happened in the last week or two, that only true parents can do this. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how accomplished people are. They're going to have problems. And that's been brought so much to the fore now because of the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And regardless of your politics, I'm not talking about whether you like him or not. They had a great relationship. Elon Musk was doing incredibly good things, discovering wasted money to the billions of dollars in the government. These are good things to do. And their relationship was very strong, but Donald Trump made a decision that he didn't like politically to do with his company. And now he's just running him down on Twitter and everywhere. It's incredible, savage things he's saying. And I realized no matter who these people are, they are so confused. They can't, without true parents, they're going to go off the path 100%. You keep thinking that they're okay, but they have so many problems. So anyway, it just came home to me that no matter how materially accomplished people are, they're just so confused. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's true. We need true parents. Yeah. 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 If there's yes, Leighton. Yeah, go ahead. And then after Leighton, nah. Yep.
Sorry, good morning.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually came in a bit late, so you might have explained it, but the main title Mother said, your responsibility is your portion. No one else will do it. So I was struck by the word no one else will, not can. So is there any semantics at play there, or it seems no one else will do it. It's not that nobody can do it, but no one else will do it. It's your portion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, each person is a separate being, and so each person has to grow to maturity. And so you can get all the help, but you still have to carry it out yourself. You can follow what other people are doing, but you still have to choose to follow. So there's 8 billion people, and we have to help 8 billion people, but they have to accept it and then do it. So I think it refers that way that we are an entity, and so we have to grow, and that's our responsibility. And no one can do it for us. We have to make that growth happen. Yeah. I don't know if that helps.
I was questioning the use of the word can or will. So will versus can. So if you say no one else can do it for you, I accept that, no one else, because that's our portion. We've got to do our own growing, no matter how, but no one else will do it for you. It seems like there is
There's
even if other people can do it for you, they will not do it for you. There's a little bit of a difference there.
Maybe that's the English. Maybe that's the translating of the word. Yeah. I have to ask Reverend Yutaka to translate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now you wanted to say something?
I was just wondering whether it's okay to ask here about the fund. Is it a gift? The amount of funds that we give that needs to be done by 2000.
You're talking about the unit offering.
Yeah.
Where one unit is $800, and they're looking for everyone to try to do 21 units. Well, actually, any amount that can be sent. But if you do 21 units, then there's still the opportunity to have your name engraved in the building. And so here in Australia, I have a list of people who are paying the units bit by bit. Some people have done 21, some have done 10, some have done 7. They're different. And once they get to 21, then I send a report to Korea, and they keep a record, and that's verified by the money being transferred, with receipts, and then we have until at the moment until 2027 have that grace opportunity to fulfill 21 times 800 US dollars, and if and that will actually goes towards the building, because there's still parts of the building still need to be completed or finished. And then we're given that opportunity to have our name engraved and stay there forever. So it's $800 US for one unit, and you need 21 done by 2027 at the moment.
This is the new building.
Yep. The Tongal Sanctum. There's a place already on the balcony where names have already been done, and if you do 100 units, then you're in larger font size. Anyway, that's what's been said. So, okay. Kathy?
Thank you.
Yeah? Okay, thank you. Kathy, got your hand up?
I was just thinking about the speech that you gave, and the one of it you mentioned, the mind and body you develop here will be what you take into what you have in the spirit world. But the last thing was you are dependent on your descendants. I didn't go to Champyong for the opening. I stayed at back in New Zealand. And it was, as a child, I was brought up as a Christian at the age of 3. And I'd always wanted to live at the age with Jesus. I'd hoped I'd have been born when Jesus was on the earth. But it's so wonderful that we can be here now with true parents. But what I felt when I was watching the ceremony at the Parnell Centre, and I have liberated all my ancestors and a few more, and the gratitude and the heart that they felt that they could be witnessing the opening of the ceremony, the opening of the entranceway, that they were present at that time when God could finally come down to earth and be with True Mother. The feeling from them was just so incredible, and they were so grateful that I was able to liberate them. And I just thought, why me? I'm just nothing. I'm nothing. Why me? Out of all the thousands of descendants, it could be me that liberated them and blessed them and made it possible for them to be at the entrance ceremony and could be one of the witnesses there. And then it seemed to be that they were over at Champyong, and then they were with me, and they're at Champyong, and they were with me. And it was just incredible feeling. It was just, they were so grateful for what we are doing here on the earth now. And it was just an incredible feeling. I just couldn't stop crying the whole way through that ceremony. And it was just that thing, you are dependent on your descendants. So we've got a lot to do in the future to support true parents, especially True Mother at this time with the 8 billion people on the earth. That's what I just felt through this. Thank you.
Thank you. Very true. Thank you, everyone. It's time now for us to offer a unison prayer. So I'll just bring up that screen. Okay. So let's pray together. Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending, and I hope you have a great day, and see you all again tomorrow.
Can we sing happy birthday to Sue Amy? It's her birthday today.
Oh,
She's 20 years of
happy
age.
birthday.
I see she's online.
Yeah, she is. Happy birthday, young
Happy
again.
birthday, Sue Amy. She likes to say happy birthday to everybody else, but when it's her turn.
That's right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to
Have
you.
a wonderful day.
If you're talking, you need to unmute.
Unmute, Sue Amy.
Yes. Actually, you see this one? This photo?
No, the photo moved.
Oh,
Yes.
actually, this all five, everyone's 70 years old this year. So I didn't care 69 or 71, but 70. So all together, like Jeffrey Printers, Hiroko-san, all five in New Zealand, all 70. So just gather together when you are the champion, just Chomong entrance time, we celebrate together.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Big step up. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Cassie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Cassie.